What is good, y'all? Welcome back to Chris and Ralph Productions. As always, I am Chris, and I hope you're having a wonderful day. So, July is around the corner, and it has been a staple in July of for Comic Con. And of course, every year at Comic Con, we get our marvelous Marvel Hall H panel. Thank you. I did some wordplay right there. And usually it is the biggest thing for Comic Con. And because it is the biggest thing for Comic Con, last year they did not attend due to the writer's strike, the actors' strike as well. So, right now, I just wanted to get into a couple of things that they can show, list off a few things that I think that they should announce, or what I hope they announce, and overall my expectations for Hall H this year. So, we'll get into my expectations. I think, and I really do believe, that we're going to get a fantastic panel. Will it be a 2013, 2014, 15 Hall H Marvel panel? No, I don't believe so because the last handful of years, give or take, it has been hit or miss very much for the MCU. If you've seen my videos in the past about the MCU the last few years, um, it's been very tumultuous for my MCU fandom because I think uh, they have the right intentions, of course. I just think they've been putting out too much product. It's been quantity over quality, and it's always been the opposite, quality over quantity, of course. And ever since Bob Iger came back to Walt Disney, ever since he's been overseeing Marvel Studios, and it's not Kevin Feige, all right? I don't want people to think, "Oh, Kevin Feige is ruining Marvel." No, it is not. It was the previous guy that at Disney, um, Bob Chapek. If you go and look at reports from Hollywood Reporter, from Deadline, from Variety, from a bunch of these giant trades, everyone's pretty much in agreement that Bob Chapek basically was forcing an amount of projects on Kevin Feige. And Kevin Feige, even though he's the head of Marvel Studios, obviously he works under Disney, so he had to meet that quota. And if you ask Kevin himself, if I'm not mistaken, I think as of recent he said he understood that they were doing a lot of projects. But the other day he joined the official Marvel podcast. It's on like anywhere you can find audio podcasts, and essentially he talked about Fantastic Four, Captain America, Thunderbolts, Deadpool, and everything. And he just basically said all those projects we've done, he's proud of them, but he's very much looking forward to the future. Fantastic Four is one of the main projects that he really talked about. But let's get into what I believe that we'll see at Hall H, what to expect. And my expectations, like I mentioned, I think it's going to be a wonderful panel. I'm just being very much, I'm optimistic, but I'm cautiously optimistic because they're not gonna they're gonna deliver what they're gonna say. They're gonna come out. They're gonna have a dope panel. I just want to. I'm just curious to see how I'm gonna feel when it's all said and done. So let's go ahead and get into the movies, of course. So this is the official Marvel.com page, and they have 2, 4, 6 future MCU projects listed, of course. And let's just start off with the one that has had the most issues and trouble and everything, and that's Blade. If you go and you take a look at every project on the site, it has the director and everything. Well, Blade doesn't have a director. So, of course, Mahershala Ali is going to play Blade. It's still being reported um, that Mia Goth, if you don't know Mia Goth, she's doing Maxine, Pearl X, the A24 franchise over there. She's doing a Guillermo del Toro film. She's going to play the Bride of Frankenstein. So she's very much, of course, in the mix for when it comes to horror, spiritual stuff. She's in the mix, and she's still slated to play Lilith. in the Blade movie, so we shall see. But back to Blade itself. The release date is, if you see right here, November 7th, 2025. That movie is not meeting the November 7th, 2025 deadline. They don't have a director. We're in June. July is a few days away. By the time they get a new director and the director comes in, sees what they want, sees what changes they might want to make, or maybe Kevin's like, "You're not gonna make any changes. We just need you to come in, film this damn thing, and let's just keep it going." Because it says November 2025. There is, I'd bet money that it's getting delayed again. That's how confident I am in that. So for Hall H, this is, I think, the biggest announcement they can make, and the announcement that I hope that they make, and that the director of Blade is going to be Jordan Peele. Of course, there were reports as of recent, about less than a month ago, that he met with Marvel Studios. Like, that's not like something someone pulled out of thin air or anything like that. No, that he met with Marvel Studios about one of their up and coming projects, and never stated which one. And then another report came out probably the next day, if I'm not mistaken, that it was supposedly about X-Men, the X-Men feature film that they're going to be doing in the future. Um, and that it kind of fell through in terms of creativity. But how true are those reports? How, and then you can argue how true is the report that he met with Marvel Studios. All the big trades were reporting on it, so I believe those more than what someone said about it being X Men. Anyways, Jordan Peele, his next movie isn't slated until December or October. I think December of 2026, or I think it's October. He announced it the other day. 2026. That's 2.5 years from now. That's more than enough time for him to be able to get a Blade movie under his belt. He is a fantastic director, a fantastic writer, an award winning screenplay writer. So I strongly believe that if they're able to get Jordan Peele to be, added to Blade, and if, let's just say for an example, they add Jordan Peele and then he leaves, cancel the movie. Like, just cancel it. If you can't get Jordan Peele to stay, if you can't make ends meet with him, then you're not gonna work. This movie's not gonna work out. But that's a big what if, and that what if doesn't even happen if Jordan Peele isn't the director for Blade. Um, this would definitely be the biggest announcement, at least to me. Of course, they could announce a whole movie that we don't even know about, a whole TV show they don't know about. But here's the thing. Go back to these projects that they have. Here's the thing. Like, they have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Of course, Deadpool and Wolverine comes out. They already have 7 movies that have been announced. They have like 5, 6 TV shows that have already been announced, and a couple more that haven't officially been announced, but they've been filming those shows, which I'll get into one of those later. How many more projects would I feel comfortable them announcing, or to adding to their stockpile of projects that have yet to come out? And I understand that's what Hall H is for. Hall H, when it comes to Marvel Studios, is to make the big announcements of, look at what we have coming out no one knows about. Boom, 2019, whenever they did that with Blade, whenever they announced, I'm blanking out, but because I'm talking about Blade right now, you know, I personally would be satisfied if they sort of look people in the eyes at Hall H. People want there's people who are saying, oh, that they need to admit their mistakes. No, that's, excuse my language. That's, I'm not even gonna cuss. That's just stupid. Okay. There's no reason for them to come out and be like, "Oh, guys, we screwed up. We know we're no some of our movies bump." No, that's they. There's no reason to even acknowledge it. It's happened. Okay, you can't change the past. They should just come in and focus on the future. People who want Kevin Feige to go on stage and damn near apologize, that's idiotic. I think what they should do is come out, look people, and give them reassurance that what we have in the works and what we have already filmed is gonna be the quality of MCU before Endgame. Of course, post Endgame, there's been so many great projects: No Way Home, Guardians 3, WandaVision. One of my personal favorites was Hawkeye. Shang-Chi, one of the best movies post Endgame. I love Shang-Chi. But for Hall H, I think they just need to give reassurance to people. They need to let them know that this is what we're doing. We're going to retool some of these projects. Here's a director that we haven't announced, i.e., Jordan Peele. Here's a casting we haven't announced. Of course, if you look right here, one of the biggest things is Kang. I don't think they should even come out and acknowledge the whole Jonathan Major situation. It just wouldn't do them any good. There's no reason to acknowledge it. It's already been settled. It's in the past in a way to them. Even though they have the movie coming out, they don't know what they're gonna do with it. That whole situation is behind them. So, would they announce a new Kang? Would they just announce a new character? It's not Kang Dynasty anymore. I don't believe so. It's funny because this is the official Marvel page, and there's been so many reports by the big trades that it's no longer King Dynasty, but whatever. Avengers 5. So we shall see in terms of what exactly reassurance that they're going to give us. So let's go ahead and get into the next thing that I really, really wanted to talk about. Well, we'll get back into Avengers 5 in a bit, but Fantastic Four, man. Director Matt Shackman, release date July 25th, 2025. This was announced Hall H 2019. And here we are 5 years later, and they're finally going to start filming. We already have our cast, of course. I've done a handful of videos on the Fantastic Four. So if you want to check those out, I'll link those down below if you'd like. But let's get into this article from Variety. Excuse me. The Marvel's Fantastic Four is a 1960s period piece in New York City, confirms Kevin Feige, but it's probably not the New York City from our world. Not probably, it's definitely not the New York City from the proper MCU timeline. First off, since they've shown this artwork Valentine's Day earlier this year, I've looked at this artwork damn near every day. I love it. I love the vibes. I just love it. Of course, in the Marvel podcast that Kevin Feige was on the other day, he said, "This is him. All right, this is coming from Kevin Feige's mouth himself. That the Monday after Comic Con, so Comic Con falls on the same weekend as Deadpool and Wolverine. So I'm assuming Deadpool Wolverine comes out the 25th. That's a Friday. So 26th, 27th. That 27th is that Sunday. The Hall H panels are 26th on that Saturday. He said that Monday, so that would be the 28th, that that's gonna be the first official day of filming for Fantastic Four over in London. So I love this because I'm willing to bet money that the cast is gonna come out. And the cast includes Pedro Pascal as Reed Richards, Vanessa Kirby as Sue Storm, uh, Joseph Quinn as Johnny Storm, and Ebon Moss-Bachrach as the Thing, Ben Grimes. Um, Definitely, I think they're gonna come out. That's guaranteed. I wouldn't even put doubt into my mind that they're not gonna come out. They're gonna be already together because a couple of days later they got to start filming the film. So why not, you know, get them on a private jet and then get them over to Hall H so they can show off, the cast in person for the first time, because this was not a Hall H announcement. This was just an announcement that they did on Valentine's earlier this year. Speaking of holidays, July 4th is in a few days, so I'm willing to bet, of course, on July 4th. That we'll get a new artwork. I'm already imagining that they're going to be barbecuing. The Thing is going to be on the grill. Johnny Storm's going to be doing Johnny Storm things. You'll have Sue and Reed probably helping out the Thing, or they'd be there probably by the poolside hanging out. But yeah, so Fantastic Four starts shooting that Monday after Hall H. They'll be there at Hall H, and they'll get probably the biggest pop of that Hall H is them being on stage. Um, and I love it. Maybe we'll get a costume, like a costume reveal. Like, yes, this is the costume reveal, but in terms of like them, I don't think they'll wear them. But who knows? Fantastic Four is going to be one of the highlights of that Hall H panel, and I'm very much looking forward to it. All right, back to our slate. The Thunderbolts, actually. The Thunderbolts, it is David Harbour, Hannah John Carmen, Julia Louis Dreyfus, Sebastian Stan, Wyatt Russell, Olga Korlenko, and Florence Pugh. May 2025. Um, when it comes to the Thunderbolts, I really don't know what they'll show. They officially wrapped filming the other day. This is David Harbour's Instagram. He posted this poster of Red Guardian, a young Red Guardian, clean shaven Red Guardian. On the left of him is something written in Russian. I don't speak Russian, so I can't translate it for you. But I'm sure there's someone out there, of course, who does. Yes, there's people who speak Russian. Duh. But back to Thunderbolts. I think that they'll definitely, out of all the projects, out of all of the movies and shows that they have, I think this is the one that they'll have someone come out on stage in costume. And by that someone, I maybe David Harbour. I think David Harbour may come out as Red Guardian, because if you want a Hall H panel to be the biggest one since 2019, and you have someone come out in costume. The last time was High Evolutionary in 2022, of course. That was the last time they had a Hall H. So do something like that. Bring someone out in costume. It should be, they don't even do it every year, of course. Or every Hall H they don't do that. Loki, of course, was the biggest one that they've done. High Evolutionary in 2022. Um, for the Guardians movies, they had the Ravengers come out in costume, and that was always cool to see that. So now that we don't have any more Guardians as of now, we don't have any, OG6, including Loki and stuff in that, that group. Show off what you have in the future for the those actors and actresses that we have. Have Red Guardian come out. If it's not Red Guardian, who else could they bring? It's a good question. Maybe Florence Pugh comes out as Yelena. I think that would be pretty dope to have Florence Pugh come out as Yelena. Will she? Is that necessary for her? Like, cause she's such a big star. Not saying it's beneath her, but like, would she want to? I don't know. But I think for Thunderbolts, I'm definitely excited for this. And yeah, there's Thunderbolts. The other massive project is Captain America: Brave New World. This is a movie that I'm beyond excited for. The cast is Anthony Mackie, Carl Lumbly, Danny Ramirez, and Tim Blake Nelson. February 14th, 2025. I completely forgot this film comes out in February. I was always under the impression that it would have come out July of next year, but then I got it mixed up with July of this year, 2024. And of course, it was delayed because they're doing reshoots as we speak, if I'm not mistaken. They're still in the middle of those reshoots. Giancarlo Esposito was added to the cast recently. He's a part of those reshoots. Now, here's the thing with Brave New World. It has nothing to do with the quality of the film, my expectations, none of that. I love Sam Wilson as Captain America. That's my Captain America. I love that. It's the budget that actually pretty much scares me. It scares me like I'm the one controlling the money, like it's coming out of my pocket. But it has been reported that the budget is already exceeded $375 million. Reason being is because the original budget was 270, 270, right? Yeah, I think 270. And the reshoots that they're doing is essentially 100 million added because they're doing essentially they're filming a whole new movie. This is just from people who have inside information. I'm not connected to them, just things that I read from scoopers from online and things like that who are well connected. That the budget's pretty much gone out of hand for this film. And the reason why it's concerned for me is because I want every movie to be successful because first financially it helps the actors, actresses, and all the people who are just starting out, of course. Well, I mean studios, they collect all that money, but you know what I mean. I think for the budget to be 375, and this isn't concrete, this is just from the speculations, it being 375, and then that's not even including marketing, and marketing can very well go north of 65-70 million dollars, maybe even touching 100. That would be ridiculous. Before the movie even starts, you're already looking at damn near $500 million invested in this film, and we haven't even seen a single second. So that scares me because, like, oh, Chris, they're putting so much money into it. They believe in it. No, they're putting a lot of money into it because they had to go and reshoot it because of the issues that they've had with it. So that definitely has me on edge because I want the movie to be successful. And it's the box office because if this movie, it makes even, or even if it has a net positive, people are going to say, oh, that was an absolute bomb of a movie. It's a horrible movie. They're not even going to take into consideration the quality of the movie. They're just going to look at the box office and think it's a bomb. So I want this movie to be successful. I'm definitely rooting for it, of course. It's a Marvel movie. I love Marvel movies. I love Anthony Mackie as Sam Wilson. So what they'll show, I think this is the project that they'll probably show in terms of movies, the project that they'll show the most because they have so much in the can in terms of shooting. They have probably full on sequences already fully CG'd, fleshed out. So I wouldn't be surprised if they show some footage because this is July. The movie comes out in February. They already have they already have a whole movie film and they're redoing parts of it. So very much looking forward to see what they show for Brave New World. And I love to see Anthony Mackie on stage with that shield. That'd be really really cool to see. All right, a couple of more things before we wrap this up. This is a longer video than I anticipated. I'm yapping a lot because the reason why I'm gonna continue to talk right now. I love the MCU. I love Marvel. It has a special place in my heart, and I can be biased and I can say, "Oh, they haven't struggled the last few years," but I would be lying if I say that. They've definitely been struggling. So this Hall H has a lot riding on it, not only for the mass, for the general audience, but for myself. I'm not gonna sit here and say if it was a very disappointing Hall H, I give up on Marvel. No, I'm never gonna give up on Marvel. I'm gonna be there, support the movies. There are some that I haven't watched, some projects I haven't watched because I just can't make myself watch some of these projects in terms of excitement. Um, but I forgot my train of thought. Let's go ahead and get into this next project, and that is Avengers 5. Just a release date, May 2026. Avengers 5. um Secret Wars, actually, which is of course the one after this one, Avengers number 6. There's already been reports from Hollywood Reporter, from Variety, and all that, that they have 60 plus actors already signed and ready to go. That they, of course, we're in 2024. The movie doesn't come out till 2 years. They have to film probably. They'll probably start filming early next year. So they have to start getting these actors their schedules ready. They have to start doing all that. But in order to get all that going, they got to have a director. So here are two directors that I believe are my two front runners. One, I believe, is the logistically, like, the realistic front runner in terms of conversations that people have been having at the trades and all that, the articles and stuff. And here's one that I would really love to see, but I don't think he'll do it. But let's go ahead and get into it. So the first one is Sean Levy, of course, the director of Deadpool and Wolverine. He has already had his name attached to Avengers 5 as of less than a month already. That he was the front runner, he still is the front runner, and that he's essentially been offered. the position to be the director for this film, but he hasn't given a yes or a no. Pretty much all the chips are are on his side, and he's gonna have final say, of course, of whether or not he wants to do it. I'm sure they can offer him the Brinks truck, but they already have a budget so big that they have so many actors and actresses that they have to pay. So right now, he's not worried about Avengers. He probably is. But he has a massive movie coming out, Deadpool and Wolverine. I haven't really talked about Deadpool and Wolverine because I'm gonna do other videos on Deadpool and Wolverine. That movie comes out in a few weeks. I already have my tickets. I'm beyond excited. But for Sean Levy, um, Deadpool Wolverine's gonna make $1 billion. Okay, so whether the movie makes a billion or not, I don't think him getting Avengers 5 is gonna have anything to do with the box office for that film. The box office is gonna be massive for that film. It's just whether or not he wants to do Avengers 5. I don't know. He's been offered it essentially, so we shall see. But the director that I want to see direct Avengers 5 is Ryan Coogler. The director of the Black Panther films and the Creed franchise. Right now, he's doing a film with Michael B. Jordan. It is a vampire film set in, I believe, the late 1800s or the early 1900s. And you're probably thinking, oh, he should have did Blade. Yeah, he should have done Blade, but he probably didn't have faith in that movie either. He's like, y'all want me to do a Blade movie set in the early 1900s? Read y'all script. I'm gonna go to Warner Brothers and I'm gonna go do my vampire film set in the 1800s, 1900s. So, but Ryan Coogler, of course, there's a 99% chance that he's gonna come back for Black Panther 3. There's really very little chance that they do that movie without him. And if they do the movie without him, who knows? But if you can convince him to do Avengers 5, I think he would do a wonderful job at directing that film because he has a good eye for action, he has a good eye for emotion, and I think Avengers 5 is a massive responsibility for any director. The Russo brothers, there was two of them, and they did a wonderful job. So you give this to Ryan Coogler. Obviously, he'll have Marvel Studios, of course. He'll have his team. He'll have a very strong group to help him, and then he can lead the charge to make this amazing film. So I hope Ryan Coogler is mentioned in the conversations to direct the film. If not, okay, I mean that's fine. It's whatever. Whoever they do have sign on, I'll be there and support them. So let's go ahead and move on from the films and the movies and all that good stuff, and let's get into the TV shows. The TV shows, I really don't have much to talk about. Marvel Zombies, there hasn't been an official release date. Spider-Man Freshman Year is being reported November of this year. Ironheart, they talked about it at a investors meeting a couple months ago. It comes out 2025. Daredevil Born Again, of course, that's the one that people are like, you know, the one that they're probably most excited for. That comes out March of 2025. So that one has a, essentially a release date. So that's cool as well. I can't wait for Daredevil. Agatha All Along, they actually did release a new still from the show. I don't have it with me, but essentially it was Agatha opening up a door and there was other what appeared to be witches next to her. That's pretty much it. I didn't give anything, no spoilers or anything essentially like that. So Catherine Hall, I love her. I love Agatha. At first, for the longest, I was like, "Do we need this show? Is Agatha? She's a wonderful character, but like, do we need her?" Well, first off, all these projects, it's not needs, it's wants, of course. But the more that I've been hearing Catherine Hall talk about, um, the project and stuff. Catherine Hahn, not Hall. Um, she's gotten me so excited because she loves the character. She's very passionate about it, and I love hearing from passionate people. So very much looking forward to Agatha. I'm sure she'll come out. Maybe she'll be the one that come out in costume as Agatha. That'll be really fun. She'll probably come out and like she'll mess with the lights and stuff, or she'll probably shut stuff down, and people will be like, "What the heck?" And she comes out. Agatha all along plays the song. That'd be pretty dope. So the one project that I absolutely wanted to talk about, and it's not even listed on the Disney Plus portion of the Marvel TV show site, is Wonder Man. The reason why I wanted to bring this up, a couple of things. On the Marvel podcast show that Kevin Feige did, he mentioned Wonder Man. Oh, if he mentioned it, then of course, it's announced. But and he basically said that he's super excited for it, that it's very, very different. And you can be cautiously optimistic when you hear that, because how many times has someone at Marvel said, "Oh, it's very different," and it turns out to be sort of a copy of something else? But I believe Kevin Feige when he says this, because he's a passionate man. And Wonder Man, it's a spotlight, so it's going to be a series. Who knows exactly how much is going to play into the MCU main canon? Well, it's going to be canon, but like in terms of playing into our main storyline, I don't think it should, or it shouldn't. I don't think it should. I think it should just be its own thing. Um, Yahya Abdul Mateen is one of my favorite actors out right now, and he's playing Wonder Man. So a couple of things that was shown of set images. No spoilers. I promise you, it's just a set image of the set. Okay. Right here, this is a Wonder Man. Looks like a Wonder Man premiere, of course, and this cutout. You see, Yahya Abdul Mateen. This is clearly a cutout of him. He's wearing the Wonder Man logo. I wonder if he's wearing the red shades. That would be really dope. But what gets me most excited is the background, because I am a sucker for anything sci-fi, like 1950s, 60s sort of aesthetic in terms of sci-fi. If you can capture that, I would absolutely love that. But for Wonder Man, this is all I have. This is all we see, and it's already the one that I'm most looking forward to. And the reasons being is because Yahya Abdul Mateen, one of my favorite actors, so I'd love to see how he handles this character, and to see him in Marvel, of course. Another reason is because it's a spotlight. It's its own thing. It's going to be on its own, and I think it being on its own is something that I very much can get behind, and something that I just absolutely want to see. And the third reason is because of this set right here, this cardboard cutout. I love it. So I think we'll get something at Hall H for it. I think Hall H, they'll have him come out. I think I'm willing to bet that they'll have him on stage. They'll officially announce the project. We'll get um. Here's the thing, like they're filming, so it's not like a secret or anything like that. Or they got done filming, but I can't remember if it was ever announced. I don't know. Kevin Feige's talked about it. Obviously, they're filming, so very much looking forward to see what we see for Wonder Man. So, guys, that is all I have for you today. A longer video than what I've done recently. But like I mentioned, I love this. I love Marvel. I want them to do great. I'm very much looking forward to Hall H. I'm debating, if you're still watching, if you're still watching this, thank you. I'm debating on whether I should do like a live stream or not, and just follow the news of Hall H, because that would be, to get like my instant reaction would be really, really dope for this. So, guys, yeah, we shall see what happens. So, if you're still watching, please like, share, and subscribe. I know it's very cliche, but we appreciate the support that we've been receiving on this channel. So, thank you. But guys, as always, I'm Chris. I'll catch y'all next time. Peace.